Hello everyone. In this video I would like to share with you how to create a vertical button band seamlessly with your cardigan. So this button band is not wasn't attached. It's knitted together with the cardigan as one piece. Okay, and the use of this technique will effectively eliminate the need of counting stitches when you need to attach the button band, and also you won't worry about the cast on edge that is going to be even when the cast off edge when it's going to be even, when you finally attach the button band to the cardigan. All right, so, and also this technique can be used with any type of ribbing. Here I use the hollow rib technique. Here's the yarn that I knit this cardigan with is Alpaca Drops Melody. And here is Drops Air, and the hollow rib technique looks slightly differently on this yarn, and that is because I knit it slightly differently as well. I'll show you in shortly how to complete those techniques. So in my case, the button band has 8 stitches in it, so you can see it here. It's gonna go like that. Okay, the only thing that you would need to think about when knitting it together with the cardigan is to incorporate the number of stitches, which is in my case so 8 plus 8, but I'm going to only add 8 stitches to the total stitch count for my cardigan. Okay, and so let's get started. As you can see that I've already knitted like maybe 15 centimeters of the button band, but so for the technique that I used for the hollow rib technique, I simply employed the regular cast on technique, so no Italian cast on, just a regular one purl one purl stitch, and then I did one row of just regular one purl one knit, and then I switched on to the hollow rib. Okay, another important thing about this technique, and that's the most important probably in employing this technique, is to prevent the button band pulling upwards, pulling the cardigan upwards like that. You've probably seen it in cardigans, how sometimes they pull it this way. It's to use the short rows around the button band. Okay, this way it's not gonna be pulled that way, this upwards. Okay, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes how to do it. So I'm working my okay, so let me show you if, for example, you would prefer to do the same, to employ the same technique, the hollow rib technique. There are 2 ways of knitting it. One is when so the stitches look like that, and this is my wrong side, so they look the same, and the other way is when my stitches look like that. Okay, for the on the right side. So the first way I use is I slip the knit stitches and I knit the purl stitches. So I simply start with the edge stitch, I slip the knit stitch, I knit the purl stitch, slip the knit stitch, knit the purl stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to show, that's the right side. The wrong side, for the hollow rib, you knit all stitches as they are, you knit the knit stitches and you purl the purl stitches. Okay, and for Right now I'm going to show you how to create a short row. So the frequency for the short rows is going to depend on the yarn you select. So I'm working with the drops melody. So the frequency that I employ is I do the short row every 10th row. But that can change depending on the yarn. So if you work, for example, for this yarn, that's drops air, as I said already, I was doing it every 5th row. So you would need to see how often to do the short rows depending on your yarn. All right, so the band is 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the 8th stitch, when you get to it, you do not need it. This is the right side of the cardigan, so with the buttonholes, right? So you don't need the last, the 8th stitch, so 9th if to count with together with the edge stitch. You slip it like that, yarn in front, you turn your knitting, so the short row. So here's your cardigan, right? You need the band, and we're going to work to repeat the row one more time, and then from this side, right? So to do that, you turn onto the wrong side, transfer this stitch that was slipped on the right side onto your right needle, and here you knit all the stitches: purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and I always purl an edge stitch. Now we would need to deal with that last stitch, so I skip my knit stitches in this row. Wait. Here's the stitch. See that yarn that we wrapped the stitch, this purl stitch around? You grab it from the back, from the outside to the inside into this loop. You place it onto your left needle, and you simply purl the stitch. You've completed the short row, and you continue with your pattern for the rest of the cardigan. That was the right side as you wear your cardigan, right? To deal with the short rows on the left side, on the other side of the band, I'm going to show you on here. So I've knit my entire row, and I got to the button band. So here's my side with the buttonholes, here's the other side. And because I've completed already short rows on this way, for this part, I need to do it for this. And here is, I'm going to confuse you right now a little bit, because the technique that I used for the hollow rib is slightly different from the one that I used for the sample. And don't pay attention to the technique for the hollow rib, just pay attention to how to complete the short rows. So, and here I basically knit the knit stitches on the right side and slip the purl stitches. Okay, so this is how I end up with the button band that looks slightly different. So in this row, we're going to to complete the row to the end, to knit the row to the end. And the short rows, so if on this side we did the short row working on the right side and then we turn work, so we are going to work on the wrong side and turn work to the right side. So this side I'm going to also knit all the stitches as they are on the wrong side, and I get to my 8th stitch of the band, which is this guy here. So edge stitch 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we don't need this stitch, we just slip it onto the right needle, turn work, and when you turn work, try to allow, don't tighten this loop too much, okay? Try to allow it just not overstretched, but at the same time allow some yarn here so it's not going to pull the stitch and distort it. So I'm going to work my way to the end of this row, and complete the short row on the wrong side, from the wrong side. So my wrong side, I need all the stitches as they are. And here's my stitch with the wrapped up yarn around it. And you can see it, right? It's here. So if on the other side of for the right side we picked up the yarn from the back, this stitch we're going to pick up the yarn from the front into the back and place it on the left needle. Okay, and now we get into these 2 stitches like that. Let's do it again. Here's the yarn wrapped around the stitch. I pick it up from the outside to the inside, from the front into the back, place it on the left needle, get into 2 stitches together at once, and knit it as a knit stitch. Okay, so yeah, so this way, see, it was also, take a look, when I knit it as a knit stitch here, the stitch ended up being twisted, so you don't want this to happen, okay? So that means, let's do it again, you need to turn your stitch, the knit stitch, as if to knit, okay? Then pick up the yarn, place it on the right needle, on the left needle, and now knit it as a knit stitch. Now see, and it's a purl stitch on this side, and you continue with your pattern. So again, depending on your yarn, the frequency of the short rows depends, varies, and for me it's just every 10th row. For you it might be every 5th row or 7th row. You have to start just incorporating the short rows, and then to see how the edge here of your cardigan looks like. So mine is straight and nice, and you know, there is no pulling, no hemming here. It's just perfect for my project. All right, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.